Mental health and wellness is very unique to all of us. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and it's really dependent on what each individual needs in their lives. It's important to make sure that you understand what you need from a holistic approach so that you can find all of those things that are going to make you complete, both mentally healthy and well.
For me, mental health and wellness means the whole being, the whole person. Each of us have a brain, therefore our mental wellness is related to our whole being of our bodies, our community, our families, our loved ones. It is a whole self. Taking care of our brains means taking care of our total wellness.
It's about your whole self, not just your physical body, but your mind, your spirit, your soul, your personality, your feelings, everything that makes you, you.
Mental health and wellness is so important and so crucial. To me personally, it's about balance. It's about being balanced between what fills your bucket and what brings you joy. Personally, mine is diet, it's exercise, it's being around family and friends, it's serving my community, but it takes work and energy to make sure that you continue to fill your soul, to show up the best version of yourself so that you can help support others around you, and know that you're never going at it alone.
I think mental health means your ability to cope with what life throws at you on any given day. I think everyone has good mental health days and bad mental health days, and they may change. What throws off your world one day may not throw off your world the next. It's just, for good mental health, I think you need a good coping mechanism on how things change daily, and just life in general, where one day something may throw you off as a single mom that the next day you got that handled, or in work something may come at you that you didn't expect, but otherwise it would be fine the next day. I think mental health, it's hard to describe and fit it in a box.
Making space to take care of myself, even in small ways. It's taking my medication every day, it's making time for therapy, it's getting my nails done just because they make me feel good, it's playing video games, it's spending time with my partner, cuddling my cats, it's stepping away from my busy schedule and doing things that make me feel good. It's not always easy, but it's worth it because I deserve to feel okay.
Offering people a safe space where they can feel free to explore their own questions, explore their own challenges, and be curious about where they might want to go, what goals they might want to have, and what they might want to leave behind, and to find a more open place where they can discover their true potential and discover what's in their highest and best interest and thrive from there.
Mental health and wellness is a journey in my mind. It's a journey we all go on. It's a journey that starts with safe spaces and safe relationships. And from there it really ascends to a place where individuals are thriving, individuals are finding purpose and meaning in their life, and they are living those things out.
Mental wellness means to me is that I'm able to get help for my PTSD, for my personality disorder, and other mental issues that I have. I'm able to come to Eastside Center and have supports. All my friends are here for chilling down and relaxation. I like to watch comedies on TV. I like to have friends come over and just be able to relax and to be honest and enjoy each other's company.
So mental health and well-being, I think for me, it's been a learning experience. I'm learning the difference between mental health, mental well-being, and mental illness, and that really it's not a lot different than physical health. That you're going to have ups and downs, you're going to have bumps in the road, but ultimately, as long as they don't become all-consuming and you're able to kind of work on yourself and try to control the things you can and not let those things that you can't consume you, it really helps to keep you in that frame of mind that things will be okay. It might be a bump in the road, but things are going to be all right. And I think that helps you to get through those tough times, and it also makes you look forward to those more positive times.
I'm the membership director at the Glens Falls Family YMCA, and I like to welcome the community into my building and help them feel orientated and part of our community, connecting our staff and individuals to one another to help them work through whatever they might be working through outside of our four walls. For me, mental health is operating on my weekly schedule. I swim with our local masters team here, and I also participate in our group exercise classes to help center me throughout the weeks.
It means that you're not alone. It means that you're not trapped inside your own head. There's a community, there's a support system that loves and cares about you. Local churches, local organizations, schools, teachers, counselors, we're all here on the same team to help each other out. At the end of the day, it's bigger than our families, than our towns and our communities. We're all here on this earth together.
Hi, I'm a member of the Liberty Inn House, and what well-being and mental health means to me is be able to have a place to come and be able to connect with people and be able to talk about your problems and stuff. And it helps me because I have anxiety a lot. And we go out in the community, we do our socials and stuff. We interact with the members here. And we have different units. They help you with jobs and stuff. And they help you to go out into the community so you can go out on your own.
We all have mental health just like we all have physical health. So it's a matter of maintaining our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a healthy and mature way and getting support throughout our entire lives, whether we're having trouble or not, but especially if you're struggling with anything, get some help. When I'm feeling stressed out, I like to go to my friends and family and just talk it out. It might not be for everybody, but like you can journal, you can read books, you could just take some time to yourself, go for a walk, and really focus on what you need in that moment to cope.
To me, mental health and wellness means possessing the tools to be happy with your life on life's terms while creating meaningful relationships by investing your time and energy into yourself and your family and friends, all while juggling the day-to-day stressors of everyday life with resiliency and contributing to your community in a positive way.
We each have the ability to live life, accept stressors that come along, and have the courage and strength to face life's challenges. With determination and support, we can all conquer our individual battles, ideally committing to nourishing our well-being. We need to survive and thrive while we pursue happiness and embrace wellness. I feel that recreational activities such as hiking and biking, walking, swimming, anything outdoors is a way for us to help our well-being. That, along with talking with family, friends, or counseling, is the best way to allow ourselves to improve our quality of life.
From Liberty House perspective, mental health is critical because in the world of employment, which we're trying to do, help people get jobs, mental health is what you need to be stable. For example, getting up, going to work, and having a successful day are all part of mental health, and we all struggle with that. For example, for myself and my daughter, we have some anxiety we struggle with. Just yesterday, there were ants that were crawling out of the sink in her bathroom, and she went into full-blown panic mode. I went in and took care of the ants, and then we talked about the fact that 3 ants aren't going to kill her, but it's still in her head, and it's something that she's still dealing with. So everybody is affected by mental health.
Mental health is helping yourself and helping others. You have to help others to help yourself. You need to go out and socialize. You need to have time for yourself. Take a walk in the woods. Go to the mall and visit with somebody. Have coffee at Stewart's. Just helping each other helps you, and it helps them at the same time.
So I think what I've had the most success with in terms of mental wellness is realizing that I'm not responsible for everything. I'm not responsible for everything and everyone. and that sometimes there are things that I can't control and I can't change. And rather than spending all of my time dwelling and catastrophizing about those things, there are things in my life that I can change. I can make a difference. I can do something differently tomorrow than I did today. And I think that's important, knowing that you are not responsible for everything all of the time. Sometimes you need you.
Mental health for me is realizing that it does not have to be perfection for it to be impactful for you. When I used to think about being healthy mentally, physically, all of the above, it was a picture that I had in my mind of the person who worked out 5 days a week, who read instead of played on their phone, basically holding myself to maybe expectations that aren't reasonable or aren't fair. And I feel like sometimes we do that a lot in this world. So I think it's realizing that we all have bad days and we can all be in pain and need help, and that we're all part of a bigger community. And you may not realize how similar you are to your neighbor.
Means grounding and taking breaks with myself, whether that just be taking a moment to meditate in bed or going outside and seeing all my plants growing. I also love taking time to play with my animals, so my cat and my dog, bring them out for a walk. I think it's super important to check in with those around you as well. So having a listening ear, reaching out to friends, seeing how they're feeling, and giving them an open space to communicate with you, such as going out for coffee, going for a walk out in nature, or anything else that might be positive towards the individual.
As a social worker, I think mental health is super important in our society, and it should be as valued as physical health is within our system. So as someone who loves to take care of myself and my own mental well-being and my own mental safety, I teach the kiddos that I currently work with to take time for yourself. I know it's super easy to say, hey, take a mental health day, but what does that really mean to them and to me? To me, that means going in the sunshine, going outside, and that means going for a walk and kind of exercising my thoughts. And maybe to them, that means taking a second to color, to draw. But it's super important, I think, to kind of zone in on our own mental safety and make sure that we feel safe in the way that we are coming into different situations. Yeah.
It's about a positive state of mind. It's our personal understanding that we're coping well with the everyday stressors of life. Mental wellness helps us to have healthy relationships with other people, to be productive at work and at home, to effectively manage life's challenges, and to enjoy an overall sense of well-being in our day-to-day lives. It can look like good sleep, a healthy diet, getting exercise, getting out, getting fresh air, being in nature, and maybe even engaging in activities that bring us happiness, hobbies and other activities.
Just getting outside. I love just getting barefoot and feeling grounded and just being outside with nature. That makes me feel good. That's my mental wellness. Just go outside and taking a break. You know, when I feel starting to feel heavy or about something, to feel light, get up, move around, get outside, run around with my dog, call a friend, just lay there on my red light therapy pad and just take time for myself, whatever it is.
I love to draw, and it's a coping skill, and it brings me joy and peace. And I love to draw anime characters and manga characters and Disney characters too. Manga characters I draw because their proportions, I can do the proportions, sizes better than I can with real people.
In my job here at the Y, I am in charge of the aquatics department, and I'm often on deck or coaching, and I hear a lot of stories of people telling me how much the water means to them, how they couldn't move without the water, or how they feel so much better after they've been in the water. Sometimes it's a matter of just talking to people that are in the water around them, or being with people that are like-minded and just working out, having fun. This morning I came in to the pool to get my mental health experience, and I started swimming at 5 a.m. and I felt better afterwards, and continue on my day here at the Y.
To me, it means connectedness. Here at the Y, I connect with people through group exercise, and that always leaves me feeling more energized and happy, and also the other people in the room. We definitely feel happier and more alive after a class, even if we were feeling grumpy beforehand, so that's really nice. I also like to connect with nature, and that helps me feel more calm. Just walking through the woods or some kind of nature makes me feel calm and centered.
I like to take time to be creative, working on art projects or sitting quietly, reading a book. I also work with a group of veterans that we bring different activities to the community. We work on art projects with them. We bring them bowling. We watch movies. And while I'm helping them, they're helping me. So we're both working on our mental health and doing things together.
Mental health is just like our physical health to me. However, often doesn't get the same attention that our physical health does. If I break my arm, I can be mentally well. I can be mentally healthy. If my mental health is declining, oftentimes we see a physiological response throughout our body. I think oftentimes our physical health, we'll go to the doctor if we don't feel well, and that's completely normal, and it ebbs and flows throughout our lives. But there seems to be a resistance to our mental health, and oftentimes our mental health plays a larger role in our physical well-being and how we show up to work, how we interact with each other, how our kids show up and interact in the world, how we deal with challenges, and how we support each other.
Everyone's mental health and wellness journey is different. To me, it's about having a balanced state of mind where one can manage stress, maintain positive relationships, and make sound decisions. It also means reducing the stigma around mental health issues so that we create an environment where mental health is treated with the same importance as physical health.
Breaking down barriers for individuals, meeting them at their point of need so that they don't have to worry about daily tasks that seem difficult for some people, such as just getting a nutritious meal or finding people of like mind.
At the core of oneself, mental health should be taken as a priority. And as an agency, SAIL prioritizes that within our employees and our consumers, making sure that they all prioritize their mental health.
Here at SAIL, we help support individuals living with mental health concerns by ensuring that they have connections to benefit and entitlement programs in the community, as well as utilizing our trade department for assistive tech. Independent living is a journey, and we want to ensure that any individual with a disability, including a mental health concern, lives in the community for as long as possible.
Our community health advocacy team can also help individuals in the community navigate resources available to them for their mental health and ensure that they're connected to providers that can help them thrive.
It's that having that awareness of what's going on in my head, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. The wellness part is paying attention to how I respond, how I handle what's going on in my head, the thoughts and those feelings, and finding ways to cope with them healthy ways. Sometimes that's self-care that's a little pampering. Other times it's self-care like, I really need to change this habit. I don't like this habit that I have. Other times it might look like I just need to connect with someone. But the beginning of all of it for me is self-awareness. If I don't have that self-awareness, I can't address it.
For me, it's really a holistic approach. I'm mindful to what I'm eating, how I'm taking care of my body, but a large part of it for me is the content that I'm watching. When I'm scrolling on social media, when I'm watching TV, I want to make sure that I'm absorbing information that helps fill me up. I want to listen to music with uplifting lyrics. Another big part of it is the me time, taking time with my family, with my kids, with my loved ones, my friends. My mental wellness is about taking care of myself in a way that makes me feel good, whatever that might look like at the time.
We empower people to be self-determined, to look at our employment services to see if that's the path they want to take, to look at the housing services to see if that's the path they want to take. No matter what it is for people in our community, we work with the individual and their self-determination to provide that better quality of life, and we follow through with that.
Dedication, positivity, and support from others. What I like to do for my mental wellness is self-care, which means taking a shower, cleaning my apartment, skincare, and all those kinds of things.
So mental health for me is how we deal with day-to-day stressors. As human beings, we all have mental health, just like we have physical health. It's how we deal with our day-to-day life. It's how we deal with the negative information that we're putting into our brains. How do we cope with that? How do we cope with that in a positive way? What do we do to help combat negative emotions? If we have negative emotions that gain control of our minds, it can turn into a very serious mental health condition. So we need to deal with the stress of life. We need to put healthy things into our brains. We need to put healthy social connections into our brains. The things that we see and hear on a day-to-day basis, especially in the human services field, requires us to take care of ourselves. So we need to take care of ourselves through healthy coping mechanisms, such as mindfulness, exercise, good nutrition, diet. All those things play a factor into our mental well-being.
What mental health and wellness means to me is I come here twice a week, maybe a little more. They help me to connect with people because I don't have no friends. But they help me as a distraction on my everyday life. Mental health is a wide range of diagnosis, so it depends on the person. Like again, with me personally, I listen to music or I play video games. I try to find something to distract me, and that helps a lot.
Self-care is the main component in mental health. Make sure that you can carve out time in your day to just focus on yourself. It could be anywhere from taking a walk, looking up at the sky, or it could be exercising or a creative hobby. As long as you can carve out that time for yourself just to make your brain happy.
To me, it is about knowing when to take care of yourself, knowing what self-care is and how to do it. For me, I cuddle up on my couch with a book and my favorite blanket, and I'll spend about 20 minutes just reading and taking that time for myself. It is also about knowing when to ask for help if you feel like you are needing it, but it's also about pushing yourself a little farther than you may have before so that you're able to accomplish those goals and feel that sense of accomplishment.
Mental health impacts every aspect of our life. It's how we think, how we feel, how we're able to communicate with others and build relationships. For me personally, mental health is so important working at a place like Liberty House because when you're working with other people who already deal with mental health struggles, I need to make sure that I'm able to maintain my own mental health so that I can help others. Working with people in jobs, They need to learn how to maintain their own mental health in order to handle the stressors that work can bring. One of the things we do here at Liberty House that can help is we'll have support groups. This allows members to help each other and develop the ways or share the ways that they have learned how to manage their mental health when they're also on the job.
That's a very complicated question, and I think it can mean very different things for different people. I know at the Y, we've built community around building people's mind, body, and spirit. We're looking for overall wellness. And so then when I think about how that applies to me personally, and I think of the space for my own mental health, I think of things that resonate deeply with me, like spending time with family and friends and being out in nature, hiking, swimming, and spending time communing with nature.
The capacity to make decisions, face challenging situations, difficult situations, without resorting to self-destructive behavior or behavior that is damaging to others or to property. And this often shows up in perseverance and in resilience and in a tendency toward stability. We can help bring this out and build this in other people, primarily through relationship. And that may look like just coming alongside another person and being with them in a time of crisis or a time of struggle. It may look like reading a book to a child that is struggling, but primarily relationship is the way that we build mental health and wellness in others.